episode of Care Less. I am your host, Leilon, and I'm so excited to be here again. Another Sunday in the bag, and I am so happy that we are already on episode 2. Like, let's give some snaps. I had a pretty intense intro, if you did see the first episode, and I had a few questions. So the intro that I used for the beginning episode of Care Less was a message to me. It was a voicemail. I had some questions if it was actually my voice. It wasn't. It's a voicemail that I had like sculpted by AI, and I just inserted it over a beat, and then I put it in as my intro. But in the intro, it kind of just was a message to myself, letting myself know that we are kissing the old self goodbye and saying hello and embracing the new self. So I'm the intro was meant to be heart to heart, letting you guys know that it's time to start caring less and doing more, which is like a big emphasis in regards to the podcast. So yeah, I just wanted to give a little disclaimer about that. That it wasn't, because I think it had like a little bit of a breakup feel kind of thing going on, and that was, it wasn't meant to be sad. It was meant to be enlightening and highlighting the fact that we are kissing our old selves goodbye and saying hello to our new journey. So welcome back. It is Sunday. Happy Sunday to all of my beautiful supporters. And if you are new, again, my name is Leilon, and I am the host of the Care Less podcast and the co-owner of the Jelly Shop in Charlotte. So a few questions in regards to the Jelly Shop as well is, are we opening back up? I see a launch in the future. However, it's not something that I have in the works right now to be opened up, but I do plan on merging the two together. So Care Less is its own brand, and then the Jelly Shop is its own brand. I do plan on merging those together. Care Less, the Jelly Shop. That's an inside joke for the Jelly Shop. So for it is. But yeah, so okay. So this episode is going to be about the soft life versus the real life. It's soft life and what they don't tell you about soft life. What it actually means, not the Instagram version, not the media version, but truly in your heart, what is soft life and your soft era? What is that looking like, and how to achieve that, as I am still learning and growing the ways on my journey of navigating my 20s. So let's get into it. So I have some notes on my phone. So if you do see like me glazing over at my phone, here's my phone. And I do have some notes on it as well to help me with this episode. But before we do that, the name of this episode is going to be called The Art of Self-Investment. And speaking of investment, I went to Staples and I had to get some cue cards, which, if you know, I am a new podcaster, so I wasn't aware. I thought that it would just come off the dome, but unfortunately, it's not always going to come off the dome. I'm going to have some guidance. So I called myself being a graphic designer because if you know you're an entrepreneur, you know that you got to be the jack of all trades. So I went to Staples and I decided to get some cue cards made. So, and I haven't opened them and seen them yet. So I want to open them on the podcast to see if it's given what I thought it would. Okay. Pull one out. Staples, count your days. Count your days. This is raw. This is raw. Like I thought, okay, we gonna get that out. They almost had it. They had the right idea, but they just had the wrong, because it's supposed to be thick, but this is the logo for my podcast, so it's called Care Less. And it's very flimsy. This is not what I ordered, but we're going to go along with it. And we are going to, on the next episode, on episode 3 or 4 or 5, we'll get together and we'll bring these back. So, yes, outside of that, I want to go ahead and get into the episode today about the art of self investment, as well as soft life, how to achieve that, and things like that. So, the first note that I have on here today is the conversation that I want to start off with is the soft life myth, right? So what people think it is versus what it is on social media, and like the different, like the deception between that too. So a big part of soft life for me and what it means to me, um, it's definitely not in regards to any luxury items or anything that's tangible. Like when you think about soft life and the luxury era, it has nothing to do with your materials. I'm learning that it has a lot to do with self and how you treat yourself every day. So something that I've done is like make sure that I have like a updated like morning routine. And I'm not just talking about skincare and the cute hair and the softness and the vibes and the music, like internal. How do you treat yourself? Are you taking yourself on massages? Are you going on walks? Are you doing affirmations? Are you speaking to yourself nicely? Do you treat others nicely? Right? Because the luxury things, they're nice, they're beautiful, they're expensive. I'll tell you that. But it means nothing without there's no substance. Like you can still have an attitude or a negative energy or this negative bubble. So it's really important for me that I stay on top of my routines. And this is something that I'm still working on. I don't want any misconceptions of thinking like it's perfect. These are things that I've learned and that I'm learning earlier in my 20s so that when I'm in my 30s and 40s, I'm preparing myself for success. And I'm also preparing myself mentally to make those transitions appropriately because with age, I feel comes a lot of stress to kind of reach certain levels that maybe you're not, you may not be there yet. So a big part of treating myself kindly every day and talking to myself nicely, treating other people nicely, it reflects. Y'all see that glow? See the glow? It's like, but yeah, so back to soft life. So yeah, it is about, the routine that I have, my daily mantras, the things I have affirmations on my mirror at home where I tell myself, like, before I film an episode, I'm like, this is going to be the best episode ever. This is going to be this. This is going to be this. I write it out. Like, really writing what you want out is one of the biggest things that has helped navigate the Jelly Shop, has helped push Care Less, is going to help function the YouTube channel. A big part of how I speak to myself and how I speak about my life is one of the biggest things that helps function everything else. It's the less work that I have to do physically and the more work that I do internally, and that will reflect the overall picture of everything for me. So that's soft life to me. Waking up, telling yourself these beautiful affirmations or these amazing affirmations to help retrain your mind and reprogram your mind to open yourself up to possibilities. And yeah, I think that that's one of the biggest things that helps me just flow. Even when I'm doing a podcast and I'm like, well, what if I'm not going to know what I'm going to say? Or what if I'm not going to do this? Those are big things. Like I write when I'm on the podcast, when I'm filming, it's going to flow effortlessly. And it's going to do this, like being really specific with your visions and with your dreams is really one of those things that I think helps push a soft life, but we don't call it soft life. It's kind of just like your daily mantras. So yeah, I wanted to get into that because I know that soft life is one of those big things that, people are talking about now, especially like with women, with the girlies. Everybody wants a soft life, but we're not talking about what it actually means and how to actually achieve it outside of luxury items. So another thing is setting boundaries. boundaries are super important with yourself in relationships. Just, sharing some food for thought, like, as we're navigating our 20s together, or if you're past your 20s, it's really for like all like life lessons and it has no age on it. That's just where I happen to be and things that I'm going to use to adopt and flow effortlessly through my life. Um, so, what else? Emotional and financial freedom. Okay. So, your real soft life starts when, well, for me, I feel like it started when I got my money and my emotions intact. It's this term where I believe it's called like crash. It's a millennial thing, but it's like a crash out notion. So like a notion where when something happens, you react right away. Or when something doesn't go your way, you react right away. Or when your partner leaves you, you react right away. Like everything you're so reactive and it's like that's all a part of like your energy and I feel like it affects like the rest of my day. Like if I don't have certain things or if my money is not where I want it to be or if my emotions are all over the place, my life kind of reflects that for like the next 2 days until I get out of a certain funk or whatever. But the way to avoid that is again by doing your daily mantras, your daily affirmations, having them on your phone, my mirror, my car, my steering wheel. Like it's a real reprogramming thing that you have to do in your mind, but it also opens up lots of opportunities. And like when I go out in public and like people speak to me and like interact with me, like those are the things that I write in my affirmations too. Like good vibes and good opportunities and nice people and open people and people are down to earth leading me to the right people because not every opportunity is and no, not all money is good money. So the next point is soft life isn't just about manifesting either, right? Because not only with affirmations, a big part of affirmations is kind of connected to like manifesting, which is another thing that I've been seeing kind of in the socials, because I did take a little break, but I'm still hip to everything that's going on. So, yeah, manifesting. Now, this one is a little bit touchy because, again, I can only say what works for me. Me personally, I do believe in manifesting. A big part of the affirmations kind of ties itself with that. But yeah, manifesting, but then also making sure that you're executing as well is a big part, and they play a part together. So, what I mean by that is just it also means that you're acting on your goals, right? So you can't just write a bunch of things and then kind of sit there and wait for wait for it to be happening. You also have to do the work too. And like I said, a big part of I don't want to do a lot of work. I believe personally that I can have the soft life that I want if that's something that I speak out and also something that I practice every day. So you can journal all day, but if you're not moving different, if you're not believing in those things truly, if you're not consistent, that's kind of where you see those it's kind of like a up down motion. Now, in order to prevent that, because we all have our days, like I definitely went through, my days as I've built up some brands and built up my brands, or even if I was working like with an internship, I still had days where I would, continue to do my affirmations, continue to manifest raises or connections or things like that. But it was also a big part of my doing was like my personality. What am I bringing to the table? What are my intentions, right? Because your intentions now we got to check it. We got to check that now. You got to be intentional. You do have to be intentional. That is one thing also that I've learned, as I've been, growing and evolving. So yeah, be intentional about what you're doing and what you want because you can achieve it. Everybody has it in them to do it. It's just all about doing it. And what are you willing to do? And it also doesn't have to be hard either. I feel like making it hard is a choice, but also it came from a lot of me believing that I can do something and believing that I don't have to do this physical hard labor and make it so super hard. Like, work smart, not hard. Okay. So, what soft life means to me and how I am creating it. Whew. Um, Honestly, I am very well, okay. So a big part of like, okay, you didn't just wake up and start affirmations and manifesting and like let's be real. Okay. So my mom, right? So my mom and dad, my mom is a Virgo, like me. So I'm very much, we have a lot of things in common. Very organized. If you know Virgos, very organized, very some of us. She's very organized and she's very intentional. And ever since I was a kid, I've been doing affirmations. I am smart. I will get an A on this test. I will do this. I will have friends that are like this. I will do this like this. I would. Or if you ever have you ever gotten in trouble and you had to like your parents made you like write a bunch of things like over and over again? You're like, oh my gosh, like I'll never do this again. I think she got it from that. She got it from that. But I also did a lot of those things too. Like when I was in trouble, I would have to write over and over again about how much I was so sorry, and like the same sentence, like I won't do this again, and then you write it over and over again. But in that, like the programming in that was like I was a kid and I was like, I'm never gonna do this again because I don't want to be sitting here writing this. So that was me reprogramming that I won't do what I said I was. And now that I'm older, it's like I can take that lesson that I learned when I was younger and apply it to my adult life. And that also helps the notions of reprogramming your mind to know that whatever you want whatever you want is possible and you can achieve it. It's just about doing it and believing it. Because again, we all have a purpose, we all have a dream. And yeah, so I encourage you to follow it. Um, but yeah, three things. Another note on here that I have is three things that you can do right now to move towards a real soft life. Okay. First thing, let go of everything that you were taught that is against you, that won't allow you to win. Open up your mind to know that you can have it all if you just do the work, if you just believe. So that's the first thing I would do. A reprogramming notion to know that you are capable. Because a big part of doing what you want to do is believing in yourself, because there will be so many people. There will be so many people that will not believe in you. Maybe. Because I don't want to manifest love over you. But for me and my scenario, there was a lot of friends and it was sometimes family too that I just thought that would believe in my idea. Um, but a big part of it was me believing in myself. Even on those days where nobody's clapping and nobody's showing up, you still have to show up for you. And that's that's that kind of thing that I was saying in the first episode is what separates you from the people who aren't doing it. So the first thing I would do is do a reprogramming, right? Or like write some affirmations down and get acquainted to just saying them in the mirror really quick or really on your phone or, on your dashboard or your mirror or whatever. The second thing I would do is touch grass, go outside, enjoy a walk, be nice to people, speak to people. I have, a big part of my personality is like I was very shy, and I feel like my shyness was a part of like in the back was like, okay, you really don't believe in yourself. You're not shy. You're just scared of maybe what they might say, or maybe they won't perceive what you have to say. Maybe they want to talk to you. Maybe there's other people that are better talkers or better speakers or whatever the effect is. So like I said, so the first one is believing in yourself, believing that you do it, writing the affirmations. The second thing is to be outside, be in nature, get connections, get friends that support you, friends that love you. Keep people around you that want to see you win and they're also winning as well. Because if you have too many people around who aren't following and aren't doing the things that you are doing, it may, it could possibly throw you off of your path. So anything that is taken away, always know that it will be replaced with 100 times better, if you believe it. Okay. The third one is, oh goodness, I got hair everywhere. I got my hair done. These are called boho. Oh, that's another thing. You guys asked me what hair or something, something. Anyways, it's boho knotless braids. They're medium. I get them done at Nadine's Braiding Salon in Charlotte. So shout out to Nadine. But yeah, these are called boho knotless braids with human curls. Human hair curls. That's what they're called. Okay. And then the third thing. Let's think. The third thing I would say, because I may be wrapping this section up about soft life, but the third thing I would say is lock in on yourself. Go ahead and lock it in. Go ahead, close the door, lock it in. Like, it doesn't matter what, like, because I have friends and, I have had experiences where it's like you want your dream or you may want what somebody else has, but letting go of the comparison of others, because you are meant to be you. Like, nobody's going to be better than you. Nobody's going to be a better you than you. So making sure that you're maintaining your image of what you want yourself to be and staying true to who you are is what's going to attract people to you the most, being yourself. So, and I know that's cliche because everybody's like, oh, be yourself, be yourself. No, but truly loving and being yourself, it's a different vibe and it's a different aura that you carry because it's not fake. It's real. This is who I am. This is who I'm showing up. And you either like it or you don't. Either way, it's not your problem because you can't control other people. You can only control yourself. You only have full control of you. So the third thing I would do is lock in on yourself. If that's your vision, if that's what you want to do, you want to start a podcast or or you want to be a music, or you want to be a doctor, whatever it is that you want to do, make sure that you're doing it for you, because you're going to look back and be like, I didn't really want to do this, or I can't be consistent with this. And it's because it's not really something that you wanted to do, So make sure that you're locking in on yourself, you're locking in on what you want to do, and you're spending some time with yourself to really understand who you are, what you bring to the table, and how you can accomplish whatever it is that you want to do, because you can do it. Clock that. Because if you could do it, I'm doing it. If I'm doing it, you could do it. So, yes. So that was a little bit about soft life versus real life and what they don't tell you about it. So yeah. So how long was that?
Excuse me. It's at 20. It's about to be 25 minutes.
Okay. All right.
And all I'm gonna say is, I don't know what you changed from last time, but I feel like you've been doing this for a long time.
Are you serious? Don't make me.
Like, maybe it's because you have the plan a little bit better, but like your stuff right now, but you were like smashing last time out. Like,
Oh, that's so sweet. I love it. Thank you. I also that's so funny that he said that, because at the end of the first video that I just dropped, I dropped some bloopers of him talking. He's so funny. But thank you. That's so sweet. But yeah, y'all. Okay, so as we're wrapping up, the soft life myths, what they don't tell you, since we only have 5 minutes left in this episode, and I'll see you in episode 3, which I'm so excited to drop because I already dropped the first one. Now 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm so excited. Okay, and I'm so excited for you guys too, because I haven't really did much promotion just yet on the videos, because I just wanted to wait till we get into seasons and episode 10 and things like that to really like do like major marketing. But just off like word of mouth, like the way you guys are moving and talking through the podcast about it, spreading the word, like I'm here for it. And I thank you so much for your support as well, because Careless is about to be a movement. Clack that. But yeah, so I'm gonna wrap it up here in letting you guys know that soft life is also a choice. Um, and that's, one thing that I also did want to mention, because you have to choose to you get to you are the author of your book, right? So you get to choose how you want your life to be. And that's something that I'm kind of learning as well, as I'm, moving through the going through growing up and, developing in my 20s, things that, I wish that I knew or I wish that I learned. That would actually be a really good episode. Things that I wish that I knew. But definitely soft life is one of them. Um, I had to realize that if soft life was something that I was choosing for myself, it's my responsibility, right? So I can't wait, for a man. I can't wait for a paycheck. I can't wait for a moment to like arrive or anything like that. Like, you really have to create it, with the way that you move daily. And that's why I mentioned some pretty good tips in the beginning that I hope works for you. But yeah, if you have anything that works for you and your soft life or your grown era, drop some gems in the chat so we can discuss it and let's talk about it. But yeah, guys, as I'm wrapping up this episode, The Art of Self Investment, I do want to let you guys know where to find us at. So it is Careless, right? Because Staples, like I said, count your days. Because so it's gonna be Careless, right? So it's at Careless Pod, Careless Pod. It should pop up on the screen for you there. Make sure you follow us on all of our platforms. We are now on YouTube now, Careless YouTube page as well, and we will be uploading every Sunday. And I'll see you on episode 3.